longs to be gracious to you. He rises to show you compassion. For the Lord is a God of justice. Blessed are all who wait for him.
Amen.
And then how gracious he will be when you cry for help. As soon as he hears, he will answer you. And then in verse 20, although the Lord gives you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, your teachers will be hidden no more. With your eyes you will see them. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. So God will direct us, whether we turn to the right or the left. He will say, this is the way, walk in it.
Yes, amen.
And then in verse 26, it says, the moon will shine like the sun, and the sunlight will be like 7 times brighter, like the light of 7 full days, when the Lord binds up the bruises of his people and heals the wounds he inflicted. He inflicted. You know, God binds up the bruises and heals the wounds. Sometimes it's God that brings wounds because he wants to heal us. You know, I was very wounded by not being able to go back to Africa. But God has a plan and a purpose in that in my life. There's healing that needs to take place so that I can go back and do the work again. Or, you know, I'm doing ministry here. I'm working in a church. I'm taking care of people. You know, like I mentioned about in Africa, they take care of the elderly. I have 2 ladies here in the church that have children. Both of them have children here, but the children don't want to help their parents. You know, sometimes it's because of the parent, you know, what the parent has done through the years. In both cases, there might have been some either abuse or rejection or whatever of the child, and so now the children, they don't forgive the parent, and the parent is suffering, but they don't want to take care of their parents. You know, they just are so reluctant and so difficult. And I try to work with these family members, you know, to help them to forgive. You know, maybe what they did was wrong, but you need to look at where they are now. Your mother's going to die, you know, within the next year. You need to help her and help do what, and not with such a reluctant heart and spirit. So God is using me here in America, and I still have my connections in Africa. I'm helping one reverend is getting training, a bachelor's degree in community development, and he's somebody that's helped many, many, many people. And I'm still connected to the HIV people that were trained with me to do the trainings, and they're still doing the training in some places without any support from me. It's mostly through the email type of thing. But there's a lot of people that do need help. You know, I'm going to go back to this slide. I forgot to tell you guys. This is Josephine's mother. Some of you know Josephine Oketa. She's from Sudan. She's from Uganda, but she's a missionary in Sudan. And this is her mother who had a stroke several years ago. And Josephine came back from Sudan very discouraged from many problems that were going on. And she came home, and she's really helped her mother. Her mother has gotten better in the last couple of years that she was home. Now she's back in Sudan. She's in another place in Sudan. And there are other people that are caring for her mother. But it was good for her to be home with her during that time. So I wanted to show you the picture of Josephine's mom.
Awesome.
So this is one last little video. These are the men are going to sing to you now. We've had the women and the children, and now these are the men in another place. That was just a short little video that I took of the men that were singing in the church. You know, there were a couple women in that group too. That was a group that were trained on HIV. That's the group where the man, he's there with the 11 children, and then Reverend Francis was there towards the end too. And he's been great. I've been working with him now for the last couple of years. So in my new job that I have, they're giving me a month off without pay to go back to Africa once a year. But this year I'm not going. I'm actually going to Chicago. I'm from Chicago, and I haven't been back there since 2002 because I've been traveling back and forth to Africa. So this year I'm kind of taking a break and having a little rest, and then we'll see what God does next year. So I thank all of you for coming today, and I pray that God will bless you and that you will find out what it is that He wants you to do. You know, in some cases, people are not doing enough, and they need to do more. In other cases, they need to rest, you know, take care of themselves, take care of their families. You know, what is God calling each one of us to do? So I just pray that God will speak to you, that you will hear His voice when He tells you this is the way, walk in it. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Amen.
And I forgot about these necklaces. There's some necklaces for sale on the back table, and the money from that goes to Josephine, who's working in Sudan.